Hello and welcome back to the MindArk office. I really appreciate the positive feedback we got from our last video, and that project is absolutely something we want to continue on doing. So please look forward to similar videos in the future. But today we're going to try something different. I'm currently here with the CEO of MindArk, Henrik now, and Magnus Eriksson, that is the COO of MindArk. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And today we are planning on talking about the past, the present, and the future of MindArk, right?
Yeah, if you say so. That sounds good.
How are you doing, by the way?
Yeah, I'm alright.
I'm fine. Very good.
So you two are kind of representing two different eras of MindArk and Entropia Universe, because I know that you, Magnus, have been working here for about 21 years, and Henrik been here for 4 years, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
So I want to start with asking you, Magnus, about what kind of development you've seen within the company during all the years you've been here, and how
does it feel to be so old?
Yeah. How has that changed Entropia Universe as a game?
Yeah, as you say, almost 21 years. But yeah, that's a long time. It doesn't feel like it, but that's correct. And yes, there has been some major events over the years, and I've been here and seen them. I wasn't here for the start, but I came in pretty early, a long time before we launched Entropia Universe in 2003. And we were sitting here and developing. We didn't know if the concept was working. It was something completely new that we didn't know.
But that was at a different office, right? It wasn't here?
It was a different office, yes, that's true. It was a few hundred meters from here, in a much smaller and older office. It was nice too, but this one is better. So yeah, and we when we launched in 2003, we suddenly got the more input from the users, and we saw what was working and what was not working. So that was a huge change in how we worked. Later, we also decided to upgrade the engine to CryEngine 2, which was also a huge step and made us work in a completely different way. There were so many more possibilities with a new engine, more modern and all-around engine, which we still work with. Also, a major change in how we worked was when we started to take on partners that started to build their planets, and that put a completely different requirements on how we develop things. So those are the biggest events, I would say, over the years that I can recall.
Henrik, after all those years that Magnus been working and seen the development, you joined the company. What has been important to push MindArk forward?
I think it's really been communication has been key, and first and foremost, it's been communication within the company, and realizing that we have old people, but seriously, with a lot of knowledge, and has been part of MindArk almost since the start. Obviously, that is needed because we need to ensure that the core concept and what Entropia really is, we should keep that. But at the same time, improving the way that we really understand what is it that we need to do in order to take Entropia Universe to the next level. That's something that we've been working with, and along with making sure that we have a good mixture of people, not only people that has been here for almost 20 years or more than that, but getting people with new insights and from other experiences, I think is important as well. So I think that is part of my job is making sure that we have the right prerequisites to make a as good a product as we can.
So Magnus, after Henrik became the CEO, have you seen any changes within the company?
Yeah, I think Henrik mentioned several of them that has happened, and I can only agree with him. But I think for me, the communication has been really a big thing. The communication between all the employees has become a lot better, and it's a conscious focus to improve that, and that improves the creativity and the
Decision making as well.
decision making and collaboration, and things doesn't get so delayed for waiting on someone else. It's very easy to just step up and talk to each other. So that's a very good thing, and that has been improved. And I think that's one of the major things, and that can stretch outside of MindArk also, which is something that we're talking about, and that's why you are here also.
Yeah.
That we want to stretch out and talk to more people than just inside the office. The Entropians know Entropia in a completely different way than we that develop it does, and that's very important to listen to and take notice of.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So communication is really important.
Yeah.
I think one other change that we haven't mentioned is also that we really try to decentralize the decision-making process. So previously, obviously it's not all the decisions, but a lot of decisions were expected to be made by the CEO, or for example, Magnus as the COO, depending on what kind of question or needs to be decided. But something that we've really been focusing on is that we know that from time to time, it's not us that is the smartest guys in the room. It is the people. It is the people that is working hands-on with the product and with certain areas. So it's been really important to have that trust and allowing people to make the decisions that they feel is the most important. Obviously, in some cases, it is decisions that needs to be made by myself or by Magnus. But all in all, I really think that the product will benefit from having decisions being made by the people who are working with it hands-on in many cases. So I think that's important to mention as well.
How do you ensure that MindArk deliver releases as scheduled?
Well, it's always been in our interest to ensure that we have releases on time, and part of the work that we've been doing and communicating and ensuring that the users are happy with the timely releases that we have has been pretty much changing our approach to releases. So now we do have releases 4 times every year, and that is something that has been, as you interviewed Justin and Dennis last time, they have obviously been very key or elemental to that discussion and ensuring that we have a release schedule which makes sense not only for us working here at MindArk but also for our users, because we want to ensure that the users are happy with the things that we release, and it's been part of that.
Do you have anything to add, Magnus, about what?
Yeah, I think one important thing is that we're working in a much more agile way now than we have done before, and that's very important because it makes the process more iterative, and everybody's contributing in a different way. It makes the whole process more robust and well working. So we get more productivity from it, and at the same time more input from everyone. That works very well.
You've been speaking a little bit about talented employees, and I know that you recently have added some new people into your crew. Do you have anything you would like to say about that, maybe?
I just think it builds on to what I said previously with adding new talent is obviously something that every company needs. And for us, we had a really good opportunity here during the first 6 months of this year to be able to hire top talented people. And again, adding that to the mixture of old guys like Magnus is something that is needed for us to succeed, because people with different backgrounds from other companies, from other gaming companies, there are solutions that we probably wouldn't have thought of ourselves. But adding that, pretty much intellectual capital to MindArk is something that we need, because otherwise we're not gonna be in as a good position as we are today. So it's really exciting times, and I feel that we now have a really good opportunity to be able to push the development, and not only that, but also the ideas of what we want to do. So yeah, I mean, I guess it is my job to say that things are going to look better in the future, but I honestly do feel that, so it's great.
I agree. They really add both a new spirit, but also new knowledge. Some of them have been here for a couple of months now, some have just started, but we have already seen a lot of demos and view into the work they're doing, and it's very promising and very exciting. When you are at the same place for many years, you start to know what everyone is thinking more or less, and the ideas are getting closer and closer to each other. So getting these new thoughts in is very, very good, and I'm really looking forward to when that starts to bear fruit, and we can see the effects in Entropia Universe. So that's.
But obviously, we want to keep the core concept, which is something that is being kept by people like yourselves.
Yeah, that's what we said before also, that the mix between the old experience and the old Entropia feeling and the new is a really good mix, and I think that works very well. There's a respect in both directions. Yeah. And for a universe like Entropia with a real economy, development and new things happening is essential. Yeah. Without change and progression, there can be no economy. So that's a very important thing.
Looking at the changes, do you think that it's something that your players will notice?
I think so. I think the players will notice it in many ways, actually. First of all, the quality is going to be better. Small problems that might have been hard to discover earlier will be noticed with a bigger and more decentralized organization. Also, the communication that we talked about before will also ensure that the users can get their input into the company in a better way. So I think that's going to show in many ways. I also think that looking at the tools and the automatic systems that we're looking at now, partially because of the new guys coming in with the new ideas and other experience, but also old ideas from the veterans here now becoming more real. Yeah. It's going to make it possible to actually create more content in a shorter time with better quality. So that's something that I think will be something that the users are going to notice. I also think that we are also working in a more, at the same time as we're talking and communicating better inside the company, we're also focusing on different areas more clean. So content and technology and user interaction and all these different areas are more, we have a better focus on each of them at a time. So that will make the results better, I think.
Yeah. And something that the players will notice in the game as well.
So exactly. So it should be, Entropia should become more easy to use and easy to understand and enjoyable to use. So that's something that I think will change.
Yeah.
I can only agree. This is Sally, our most talented employee.
What is her position in the company?
Balance manager.
Exactly.
Okay, that was all the questions I had for today. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.